conversion, let me take up with, let us just go directly to exercise 1-4. I-share na lang ni later Yada sa other groups and also to the 5 clusters in your class. Okay? Who is assigned to answer exercise 1-4 in your class? Which cluster?
Pass, ma'am.
Yes, cluster number.
Cluster 2, ma'am.
Unsa to nga cluster?
Number 2, ma'am.
Cluster 2, miss.
Cluster 2. Sige. So si cluster 1 ang nag-answer sa inyong exercise 1, 2, and 3. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Sige. So may we ask now cluster 2 to share screen for your answers sa exercise 1-4. The answer to number 1 is D, delta. That is correct. Number 2 is sales office salaries. That is an administrative expense, a non-production cost of the manufacturer. Since sales sa office salaries, wait, the typical indirect labor cost for a manufacturer would be, ang indirect labor, sales sa office salaries is not an indirect labor cost. Therefore, it is not part of overhead, but rather that should be the sales of office salaries will be part of your selling, the of the marketing expenses. So, dili correct ang answer sa number 2. So what is considered as indirect labor cost for the manufacturer is the material handling cost. So it is letter A. Okay, kindly change that. Number 3 is A. That is correct. Conversion cost, remember, is the sum of direct labor and factory overhead. So it is the cost of transforming the materials into finished goods. So number 3 is A. Number 4, okay, the correct answer is delta. Number 5 is B, bravo. Number 6, okay. Number 6, statement 1 and 2 are the true statements. Statements 1 and 2 are the true statements. Di ba nakabutang which of these statements? Assign yung question, oy. Ano statement rin na skilled? Naunsa naman na. Where's the question? Oh, inaog ko no ba insert rows para manaog na si statement 3. Basta ang question. Insert one more row. You transfer the question on the next row. Ang question ra. A. Statement 1 and 2 are the true statements. Okay, then number 7, delta, ang answer. Asa inyong number 7? Uy, diretso man mos 8 lagi. Naunsa na na. So what is the answer? ninyo ang inyong chosen answer. Di ba naa sa instruction, encircle the letter that corresponds to the best chosen answer. Ano wa man gi-encircle? Sa board exam, kung mag-shade mo instead nga mag-encircle, na hagbong gyud mo. Not following the instructions is one of the reasons why examinees will fail in the exam. Di ba nakabutang encircle the letter that corresponds to the best chosen answer? Okay, so anyway, do it later na ha. Kay murag madugay pagsamot. Sige, so in number 7, the answer is letter D, discretionary costs. Number 8, the answer is letter C, correct. Number 9, the answer is C. Avoidable costs are usually direct, not fixed. Okay, most of the fixed costs cannot be avoided. But what you consider as avoidable are those costs that are variable costs or direct costs. So letter C is the answer. Number 10, the correct answer is A. Number 11, the answer is delta. Number 12, the answer is letter B. Okay, correct. Number 13, letter D also. Okay, you got it right. Number 14 is C. Number 15, letter C. Number 16 is Bravo, avoidable, correct. Number 17, okay, you answered it right, letter A. Number 18, check, C. Number 19, 19, a cost that remains unchanged on a per unit basis in a given time period despite changes in the level of activity should be considered as, okay, the variable cost is constant on a per unit basis, but in terms of total, the total variable cost changes as the volume of production changes. So as the volume increases, the total variable cost will also increase. As the volume decreases, the total variable cost also decreases. So that is why the variable cost is directly proportional to the level of activity, or volume. So the answer in number 19 is D, variable cost. Your answer is wrong in number 19. That should be delta. Then number 20, the correct answer is C, because the units produced will vary. That's why your this is considered as a variable cost if the resulting amount of depreciation varies with the number of units produced. Then number 21, the answer is wrong. Unavoidable cost, meaning cost that that can be avoided. Avoid Avoidable cost is a cost that can be avoided. So it should be letter A. A cost that may be saved. So kung ma-avoid nimo ang cost, ma-save jud na nimo. Kung dili ka mo gamit, mo pili or mo adapt sa maong alternative. So letter A is the correct answer to number 21. Okay, number 22, the correct answer is C. So you got it right. Number 23, letter B is correct. Number 24, delta, correct. Number 25, letter B, correct. So cost assignment refers to the tracing and the allocation of accumulated cost to a particular cost object. So when we say cost object, that refers to the item being costed, or it answers the question, what is being costed? So if you say you determine the cost of the department, then department is your cost object or the object of costing. If you say you're going to determine the cost of a product, then product is the one being costed. So that is your costing object. So number 25 is B. Cost assignment is the tracing of the accumulated cost to the cost object. Okay, number 26. The collection of accounting data in some organized way is cost accumulation. Correct. Letter A. Number 27. The answer is B, not A. Which of the following statements about direct or indirect cost classification is not true? So the correct answer is B as in boy. Direct costs are always allocated. So that is not true. Number 28. For a manufacturing company, indirect manufacturing costs may be included in letter C. Yes. Number 29, letter C, assembler. Number 30, you got it right. Letter C. Okay, let's go to exercise 1-5. Cost classification. Classify whether it is direct materials, direct labor, or manufacturing overhead, or period cost. The period cost refers to your non-production cost, like the general and administrative expenses. So number 1, what is your answer? Can we say it aloud?
Direct materials, ma'am.
Correct. Direct materials. Number 2,
Direct
Number
labor.
2, assembly department.
direct labor. Yes. Number 3,
Period
Number 3
cost.
is the period
period
cost.
cost. Number 4,
Period cost.
Period cost.
period cost. Number 5,
Number 5, ma'am,
Period
is period
cost,
cost.
miss.
period cost. Number 6,
Manufacturing overhead.
manufacturing overhead. Number 7,
Direct materials,
materials.
miss.
direct materials. Number 8,
Number 8 is
Manufacturing overhead,
manufacturing
miss.
overhead. Number 9,
Number 9 is
Manufacturing overhead.
manufacturing overhead. Number 10,
The 10 is
Manufacturing overhead, miss.
manufacturing overhead. Number asan ba ta?
11
11,
is the period cost.
period cost. 12,
12
Period
is period
cost.
cost.
period cost. 13,
13 is
Period
period
cost.
cost.
period cost. 14,
14 is
Direct materials, miss.
direct materials. 15,
15, ma'am, is period cost.
correct, period cost. Gets niyo? Any questions, class? Okay, next. Let's go to exercise 1-6. Cluster 2, gihapon eh?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So, number 1, the answer is 84,500. Correct. So, at least you have shown there the computation. Okay, number 2, the answer is pila ni? 38,000? Correct.
Yes.
Okay, 38,000. Number 3, the total manufacturing cost is 152,000. Correct. Number 4, cost of goods manufactured is 453,002 pesos. Correct. So anyway, you have the calculation there as shown by cluster 2. Are there any questions? Take note in case number 4, factory burden is the same as factory overhead. So when you are given problems like this, remember the format of your cost of goods sold statement. Diba? In the cost of goods sold statement, you start with the calculation of direct materials used. So it would be materials inventory beginning, add the material purchases equals the total cost of materials available for use then minus the materials inventory end equals cost of direct materials used. After that, you add the direct labor costs, add also the applied factory overhead. So direct materials used plus direct labor plus applied overhead equals the total manufacturing cost. Add work in process beginning equals cost of goods placed into process or CGPIP minus work in process end equals cost of goods manufactured or CGM, add finished goods inventory beginning equals TGAS or total goods available for sale minus finished goods inventory end equals cost of goods sold, or you can call it as unadjusted cost of goods sold, otherwise known as cost of goods sold at standard cost. Add the under applied overhead, but if there is over applied overhead, that will be deducted, equals your cost of goods sold at actual cost, which is also known as adjusted cost of goods sold. Now, if it is for interim reporting, reporting um, at a certain period of time, which is not yet the end of the accounting period, so you will end up only with the unadjusted cost of goods sold. But if you're going to come up with cost of goods sold statement at the end of an accounting period, then from the bottom line, which is your unadjusted cost of goods sold, add the under applied overhead. But in case you have over applied overhead, deduct the over applied overhead equals your bottom line, which is the adjusted cost of goods sold, otherwise known as cost of goods sold at actual cost. So the question now is, how will you know that there is under applied or over applied overhead? You are going to compare the actual overhead with the applied overhead. So if the actual overhead is equal to the applied overhead, there is no overhead variance, meaning there is no under applied nor over applied overhead. So no adjustment will be made to your cost of goods sold. But if the actual overhead is greater than the applied overhead, the difference is called under applied overhead, which is to be added to your unadjusted CGS in order to get the adjusted cost of goods sold. Now, if the actual overhead is less than the applied overhead, the difference is called over applied overhead. So kay over applied man, it shall be deducted from the unadjusted CGS in order to get the adjusted CGS or the CGS at actual cost. So that is the format of your cost of goods sold statement. So you have to know what item will be added to another item. So follow the plus or minus sign in your cost of goods sold statement if you are going to solve it downwards. Now, if the missing item or the unknown item will be found at the upper portion, then you need to work back and change the operation. So like for example, in case number one sa exercise number 6, to get the cost of goods manufactured, okay, what you did first is you added the direct materials used of 12,000, direct labor of 63,000, and the overhead applied to production for the month of September is 21,000. So the sum of those three cost elements would give you the TMC, total manufacturing cost of 96,000. So as you work downwards, since we're looking for the amount of cost of goods manufactured, then you will have in between sa total manufacturing cost and cost of goods manufactured is the work in process beginning and the work in process end. But since the problem doesn't give you the amount, how much is the amount of work in process beginning and how much is the amount of the work in process end, what is given instead is the change in the work in process account, which is an increase by 11,500. So when work in process increases, that means that the work in process end is greater than the work in process beginning. So the one with a greater value, tanawa dayon sa inyong cost of goods sold statement kung working downwards, it is a plus sign or a minus sign. Yeah, solving downwards to get the cost of goods manufactured, di ba your work in process end is deducted while work in process beginning is added before you arrive at cost of goods manufactured. So what you're going to do is work back and change the operation. Or you determine what sign will you use to get the pertaining to the increase in work in process. So kay dako man si work in process end kaysa work in process beginning, in your cost of goods sold statement, the work in process end is deducted in getting the cost of goods manufactured. So from TMC, you deduct the work in process end of 11,500. There you will get the cost of goods manufactured of 84,500. So is that understood? Kung ang given, ang cost of goods manufactured, niya unknown ang total manufacturing cost, then you work back to determine the total manufacturing cost. So it will be CGM of 84,500. So you're going to add back your work in process end, and that gives you your answer, the total manufacturing cost of 96,000. So it depends on which item is unknown. Then find out in the CGS statement whether the item, the item work in process, the increase in work in process will be added or deducted. Since naaman sa taas si TMC kaysa cost of goods manufactured, therefore you work back. Then as you work back, instead of deducting the work in process end, it should be added in order to get the TMC if the TMC is the one that is missing or unknown. Is that understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's go to look at the computation sa number 2. Okay, what is unknown here is the work in process and so pangita unsay given para later isolve nimo ang missing or unknown item. So what you should do here is to get the TMC, the total manufacturing cost. which is the sum of materials, labor, and overhead. Okay, so to get the materials used, given ba ang cost of materials used in June?
Yes, miss.
How much?
15,000, miss.
Wrong. That is not the direct materials used. That is your material purchases in June. So it should be, to get the direct materials used, it would be wa man gihatag ang materials inventory beginning ug ang materials inventory end. Instead, you are provided with the decrease in materials inventory. Walay gihatag nga materials inventory beginning, walay gihatag nga materials inventory end. Instead, you're provided with the decrease in materials inventory by 4,000. That statement tells you that which one is greater, the materials inventory beginning or the materials inventory end. Kung ma-decrease ang materials inventory, asay dako ang materials inventory beginning o materials inventory end. Oy, kinsa reporter, nganong di mo tingog?
Miss.
If materials inventory decreases, that is your clue that which one is greater? Materials inventory beginning or the materials inventory end?
Beginning, miss.
It is the materials inventory beginning. So as you work downwards, ang materials inventory beginning will be added or deducted to get the
Deducted.
direct materials used.
The beginning which will be deducted.
Beginning will be deducted as you solve it downward.
4,000 will be deducted from the beginning.
Uy, tanawa ra good inyo hang
Added,
libro.
miss.
Tanawa ra good na ang inyo. Wa gyud kasabot. Page 22. Pag-compute sa direct materials used, the first box of page 22 ba na? In your book. What is being done with the beginning inventory? Is it added or deducted as you solve downwards to get the direct materials used?
Added, miss.
That is added. That is added. Pero we're looking for the amount of direct materials used man. So, from the material purchases, the greater value is the materials inventory beginning. So, if you solve it downwards, it will be added. But if you solve it upwards, it will be deducted. Diba? So, how do you get the amount of direct materials used? Para makasabot mo when to add or when to deduct the increase or decrease in a particular inventory account. Sige ha, in column H. H27. You write there, if EI is greater than BI, EI is ending inventory. BI is beginning inventory. If EI is greater than, use the greater than sign. Okay, BI equals, capital po, BI equals, okay, you get increase in inventory. Increase in inventory. Okay, next line. If EI is less than BI equals decrease in inventory. Okay, kana. Okay. Equals. Okay, decrease in inventory. Okay, next. So, let us consider the given example. Given man ang material purchases, isn't it? You write on age 30, material purchases. Then go to J, write the amount. Okay, pila yung material purchases?
15, miss.
Sige. Right. 15,000. With a comma. With a comma. Formatted with a comma. Okay, next. Below material purchases. Anak. So, wala gihatag ang amount of materials inventory beginning ug ang materials inventory end. Instead, ang gihatag is decrease in materials inventory. So kay decrease man ang materials inventory, that gives you that is your clue that materials inventory end is less than the materials inventory beginning. In other words, materials inventory beginning is greater than the materials inventory end, isn't it? So kung dako si materials inventory beginning, solving it downwards, you are going to add. Diba? The materials inventory beginning is added to arrive at direct materials used. Yan, nangita man tag amount sa direct materials used. Yan, naaman siya sa ubos. Di ba? Na siya sa lower part of your cost of goods sold statement. So, follow the sign as you solve it downwards. So, kay added man si materials inventory beginning, which is the one with the greater value, that is why you are going to add. So, place there, add, decrease in materials inventory. Sige. Sa letter J, write the amount. Pila. Given at 4,000. Sige, underline 4,000. Ana. I-adjust lang ang width sa column I para mabasa tong inventory nga word. Na para po doy. Sige, padayon. Sige, so material purchases, add decrease in materials inventory equals unsa man? Direct materials used. DMU. Write the amount in J. Column J. Pila? Wala. Uy! Di man ka kinahanglan mo hatag formula god. Ma-add ramang gud na sa imong mata. Grabe sad. Mata-matahan nag-add. Oy, sus duhara na gi-add. Grabe pod. O kana. So after the direct materials used on the next line, add DL 40,000. Okay, DL. Add also the factory overhead. Single line after that. Get your TMC. Pila? Oy. Ngano man na. 90 ug 19. Maad ra gyud nas mata ay. Ano, over dependence sa calculator. Nganong dili gyud madag add sa mata lang? Sige, next line. Okay. Naka-compute na ka sa TMC. Yung atong gipangita work in process and man. So, between TMC and work in process and mas between cost of goods manufactured o work in process and mas maguna si work in process and. Yeah, kay ang cost of goods manufactured maumay given, unknown man ang work in process end. So you work upwards. Therefore, from the TMC, what will you do to get the work in process end? What will you do with the cost of goods manufactured? To be added or deducted? To be
Added, miss.
nganong added man nga from the TMC, di ba? Add work in process beginning less work in process end equals cost of goods manufactured. Yeah, given man ang cost of goods manufactured, ang work in process end may unknown. So work back. Di ba? That means to work back, the cost of goods manufactured will have to be deducted. So it will be less cost of goods manufactured, CGM. $99,000. Okay, you can enclose it in parentheses para outright i-deduct si 99 from 109. O pwede na sa buteg minus sign si 99,000. With a comma. Okay, kana. So, and place a single line after that amount. Bring down the balance, and the balance is your work in process end of 38,000. Not yet. TMC man tanaw, 109. Di pa data sa cost of goods manufactured. Sayop mong gunayin yung presentation on the left side. Okay, i-remove sa ng less CGM. Delete. Asa sa pikas, kanang 99,000. So from the TMC, ang sunod would be the work in process and may atong gipangita. If CGM was 99,000. Okay, given man di ay ang work in process beginning. What is unknown or missing is the work in process end. So wala gihatag ang change in inventory. So it should be from 109,000, which is the TMC, add the work in process beginning. Add work in process beginning. WIP na lang. WIP. Beginning. Add the word beginning. 28,000. Okay, single line after 28,000. Bring down the total. That is your CGPIP. CGPIP, cost of goods placed into process. Okay, next. Yeah, ang CGPIP, ang sunod ana is work in process end. Pero work in process end mo may missing or unknown. What is given is the CGM. Therefore, si CGM may ubatang diha. So you deduct less CGM. Of okay, underline 99,000. Bring down the balance. So pilay balance. Okay, that is your work in process N. WIPN. Okay. Double rule the final answer. When I say double rule, you draw 2 lines below it. Ato mas borderline. Kana. May tang double. Na, magunay double. Kana. Kana ang asawang kano. Sige, back to your worksheet. Asa na to? Dako ra kay ng 150%. Okay. Kana. Okay. Kana. Wala. Asa imong double lines, uy. Single line ramang good na ang kanang imong gi kuan diha. Ang imong i-double lines below the 38,000 nga amount. Kana. Okay, kana. My check. Kay sa inyong presentation manggod gasunod si tanawa ra ko sa inyong computation. Gasun 109 minus 99 dayon ang makita pero tuad di ay ang working process beginning sa taas. So the preferred presentation is the one on the right side para di mo mulibog, maglibog. Daan pang libog, mapunan pang kalibog sa inyong presentation, di ba? So now you know when to add and when to deduct to get the amount of the missing item. Is that understood?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So you have already answered exercise 1-6. Are there any questions? Lain na nga cluster gi-assignan sa 1-7, no?
Yes, miss.
Yes, ma'am.
Cluster si cluster 3 na.
Yes, miss.
Okay. But it's already time, 6 o'clock naman, so we will end our discussion up to here. So what am I going to do is, in your case, I want you to share your recorded discussion today with the other groups. So Yeda will provide the link for the recorded discussion with the other class reps sa other groups through GC. Okay? Para ma-share na sa tanang groups. So, sa exercise 1-7, that will be taken up tomorrow by group 5. So, ang continuation sa atong discussion will be shared tomorrow by group 5 para you will know also the answer. No? Para makasave time ta. So, some clusters will have the asynchronous session, others will have the synchronous session. So, for Thursday's class, I will meet group 5 and 6. No? Group 5 and 6. So, asa mo end si group 5, diha mag-start si group 6. Asa mo end si group 6 sa discussion, mao sa na starting point ni group 7. Asa ni end si group 7, mao na starting point ni group 9. So all the recorded discussions will be shared to all the groups para maka-save time ta kay daghan kay tag topic sa cost accounting. So is that okay with you? Naamoy pangutana? Feel free to ask. Yes, Norman?
Good evening, Miss. Pwede mag-ask, Miss, will we have our face-to-face classes next week?
Sa kuan, next week na bang February 6?
Yes, ma'am.
Mag-face-to-face na ta. Adto na ta sa atong classroom. Do you know where our classroom is? Room? Okay ba? Tanawa inyong print out sa inyong class CAD. Naam gud na dito. Sa GR 232. Di ba? Tanawa di inyong admission slip. Na GR 232 na.
Yes, Miss.
GR 232 ta mag-meet on Monday, February 6. But some of the teachers will not meet you yet face-to-face on Monday, no? Kay actually, check on pa man good na sa department chair ang mga rooms kung fully equipped na ba sa Smart TV o tanang mga katong mga cords para sa HDMI o sa Sana? Napay usa ka gadget diya kung ready na ba for the face-to-face classes. Otherwise, ang teacher will be forced to discuss orally without using the laptop kung walay complete gadgets nga giset sa classroom. Di ba? So mag-chok antok rataan na kung wa pa ma-install tanan nga required Wi-Fi and internet connection. I doubt kung enough ba, makasugakod ba ang Wi-Fi connection sa school? O kinahanglan ba nag-additional nga Wi-Fi ninyo nga connection? I hope nga enough ang Wi-Fi set up sa school para di na mo kinahanglan mo gasto for your own internet connection. But always bring with you your laptop and cell phone in the classroom every time nga mag face-to-face ta. Exams, graded activities, like graded seatwork baron or mastery test baron, that will be done inside the classroom. On-site ang atong exams. Pero pwede ra sa gihapon through Canvas mag-exams ta. So most of the exams will be given on-site. Sa synchronous nga session, that is only for the online discussion, no? Yan, naasay asynchronous as the need arises. But most often mas greater na this time ang face-to-face classes compared to online classes. 55% of the class hours should be for face-to-face session. The remaining 45% for both synchronous and asynchronous sessions. So is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any clarifications, questions? Pangutana mo ha? Mas ganahan kong mangutana mo para matubag nako inyong pangutana. If there is a portion of our discussion nga masabti, you're not able to understand it, then please ask your question. Just press the hand icon there para ma-recognize mo. So are there other questions? None? So see you on
Monday.
Okay, Monday. See you on Monday in the school. See you at room 232. Di ba?
See you, Miss.
Oh. So that is all. Thank you for joining this session. Bye. Enjoy your
Good
dinner.
night. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, miss.
Thank you,
Thank you, miss.
And see you, Miss.